Hi guys, welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a fun one for you today. We've got our little Divi e-commerce site we built a while back. I've got three little images here. When we hover over them, it's going to fade in with a little call to action here about the product, and you can click the button, take you straight to the product. Second one, same thing, but we've actually got it zooming out there. Third one, same thing, but we're using a spin effect. Really easy to do, there's no coding involved in this today at all. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Okay, once enabled, let's go down. I'm going to add a new row and we'll start from scratch. I'm going to put 3 columns in, as that's what I had before. And I'm going to use a call to action in mind. You can use any module you want, but I'm going to use a call to action because it's got a title and a button. Let's just roll this up. Put whatever you want to call your product in here. Let's say blue dress. Down below you can put a description of your product. I haven't got a real product, so I'll leave mine just as it is there. In the link down below, we can make the button turn up by putting a link in the URL for the button there, or just put a hashtag. Obviously you're going to want to link to that product on your site. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site to somebody else's, put it in a new tab. That way your site will stay open. You can put another link for the whole module if you want. The button link's only going to work when we click on the button. Module link will click anywhere where they click on it. So if you wanted to put the same product link in there, just to make sure they get where you want to take them, you can do. Okay, background-wise, I'm going to make mine a black background. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the field, left click, variegated slider here. This is opacity. I'm going to take that down a bit. You'll see it going grey as it mixes with the white background there. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a moment. Great. Well, now we've got that in there, let's just make that button look slightly more interesting so it's going to stand out more. Gone over to the Design tab. I'm going to go down to Button, hit the Custom Styles for Button, turn that to On. Text color's fine. I'm going to give it a purple background though. And I'm going to take that white border away. And I actually want my button to say Buy Now. So if I go back to the content and the text, just under our title there, we've got what the button says. So let's say Buy Now. Or whatever you want to say with yours. Fantastic. Okay, well let's save this now. And we'll put the image in that we want to see initially. To do that, we're going to go into the row, the green tab. We're working on column 1 here. It's column 1. I'm going to roll down the background. I'm going to go over to image. We've got color gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask. I want to add an image. And let's roll down. That looks like a blue dress to me. And as you can see, the reason I took the opacity down on that background color is so we could see that dress behind there. That's great. Well, let's say this will take us back into our main row settings. While we're in the row settings, I'm just going to add the images for the other 2 that I'm going to put in here. So let's go into the second one. I'm going to go over to image again. I'm going to add a background image. And let's put a red dress in this one. Now for this one, I'm actually going to have this zoom out. So it's going to be enlarged at first, so it doesn't spill out over to everything else. I'm going to go over to the advanced, to visibility, and hide the horizontal and vertical overflow. You don't need to do that for the first one, but for the second 2 I'm going to do, and I'll mention this again when we do them. Okay, let's save that, go back to our row, and I'm going to do the same for the next column. Advanced, visibility. I'm going to hide the horizontal and vertical overflow. And let's put the actual image in under the content. Background image. For this one, let's put in the white dress. Okay, well let's save that back to the main row settings and save everything. Now you can't actually see anything here because there's no content in these. Great. Well, now we've got our image in there. Let's go back to our module here. I just want to check it on tablet and mobile. You don't have to display this on tablet and mobile, but if you do, you may want to check the size of it. Let's go to design. I'm going to go to sizing. I'm going to roll on down to height. We're in regular desktop mode. Let's make it 400 pixels, say 400. It'll put in the pics for you. It's made it slightly taller. That's great. Now roll over the dark writing. And this is common to all Divi modules. If you roll over the dark writing, you'll see some little icons appear. If there's a little mobile phone, hit it. We can check it on tablet. And if I move this out of the way, we really want to see more of the product on that one. So I'm going to make the height on this one, let's try 600. That's okay, we can see the whole dress there, fantastic. And what you could do, you could adjust the padding so that it works on all of these as well. But while we're in the height, let's just check it on mobile. That actually looks fine on mobile. So let's now go into our spacing just below. We're still on mobile. And padding top, let's try, say 15%. I'm typing in 15 in the percent side. Yeah, that's fine. Again, let's roll over. Get the little mobile phone icon. Try it on tablet. Roll down. Yeah, we want a bit more on tablet. Let's perhaps try 30%. Yeah, that'll work. And let's go to desktop now. Well, I think that 15% is okay. But of course, what we want to do now, we just want to see the image at first. We don't want to see the writing at all. So let's go back into our background. Take the opacity up to where we want to see it once we hover over it. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to pull that opacity back up. So you just got a hint of the picture behind, but you can really read that text and see that button really well. Great, so let's make this disappear. I'm going to go to my design tab. I'm going to go down this time to filters. I'm going to roll down to opacity. And again, any of these words that you roll over, the icons will appear. Go to the thing you want to affect. Hit a little arrow if you can. Oh, we got a desktop state when the mouse is not on it. Well, when the mouse is not on it, I don't want to see it at all. Great, just want the picture. When they hover over it, I want it to come in. Now the time it takes to do this with Divi by default is 300 milliseconds. That's pretty quick. That's just under 1/3 of a second. To slow it down for a bit of grace, I like to go over to the advanced. We can go down to transitions. And here you'll find your transition duration. There's the default 300. Let's make it, say, 750, 3/4 of a second. That's entirely up to you. I'm going to switch the speed curve to ease in out. They're all subtly different. Some will work better than others, so do check them out. But for hover effects, I like to use the ease in, ease out. Great, well, let's save this. It should disappear. Fantastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simply copy this over. I'm going to duplicate it with the two little squares. Drag one over, doesn't matter which one, they're both exactly the same. I'm going to duplicate it one more time. I'm going to pop one in the middle. As you see, we put in those images beforehand. Well, we've got our kind of fade in with that first one. Let's have this second one. We'll actually zoom it in. So what I'm going to do is go into the second one here. I'm going to change that title to Red Dress. And obviously you'd want to change your description and put the new link in for your new product here. But what I'm going to do with this one today to make it spin, I'm going to go to Design. Going to go all the way down to the bottom where it says Transform. Well, we said we were going to zoom this one. First one is Scale, that's what I'll use. And again, go up over the dark writing, hit the little arrow. When we're on desktop mode, we can't see it. I'm going to bring it up to sort of 200%. Or somewhere around there, even bigger if you want to. As long as you've got the chain checked, it'll do both sides at once. Then when we hover over, I'm going to bring it back to 100%. As you can see, that's how big it's going to be before it fades in. So let's take it down to 100 on hover. And that'll give us that nice fade effect. And again, we've already done the timing from when we copied this over. You can slow it down a bit more if you want to. I'm going to leave mine just like that. Great. Well, let's go into our next one now, and we can create the spin effect. And I'm sure some of you are ahead of me already. We'll go in there. We'll change that to white dress. Obviously, change your description and link to your new product. And again, I'm going to go to design. We're going to use the transform once more. This time I'm going to use rotate. I'm going to go for this first axis here. I'm going to get the little arrow up one more time. Desktop, I'm going to rotate it minus 359. So it's going to be almost. If you want to see it just down below, it's got the degrees there. You can increment up and fine tune with that. Then when they hover over it, I want it to be at 0, all the way the right way around. Now remember, when we went into the column itself, we hid any overflow, so when it spins, these tall areas should not spill outside of the row. Same with this one that's scaling. When it scales, you won't see any of it falling outside of the column because we hid the overflow in those. So let's save this. We'll save our changes. And let's exit the Visual Builder. Great. If we roll down, here's our first one. When we roll over it, it should hover in with the details and a nice little buy now button. Great. And the second one, this should sort of zoom in. Or it's actually zooming out, I suppose. And then when we roll back off, it's going to zoom back out again. And this third one should actually spin in. Now that's nice little features to have on your site. If people are mousing around and this sort of thing happens, it's going to get their attention pretty quickly, which is what you want. So there you go, guys. There's 3 little image to text product hover effects for you. I hope you enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.